What is up, everybody? Hey, thanks for joining me at Fat vs. World. Let's jump right into it. This first machine that we're going to be on is called the Ab Crunch machine. Pretty much everyone has at some point or another seen this machine used. You are going to crunch together your upper and lower body to work those abs in your core. This is how you get that six-pack aesthetic that everyone desires so much. It is a very good workout. It's difficult for people who are a little bit heavier to actually successfully do the workout, but it does work a lot of muscles and is a very good lift and tones very much your lower part of your stomach. Up next, this is the abduction machine. So abduction is the first one that is shown. You have the outer parts of your hips are covered by muscles. So when you push the weight outwards and your knees expand, you are working those abductions on the outside of your hips, and it strengthens your hips as well as tries to trim off some of that fat around your muffin topish area. Anyway, this one is also called the adduction. So abduction was the first with a B, the second is adduction. This is where your legs are pulled inwards. This is trying to get rid of that stubborn fat on the inside and strengthen the muscles on the insides of your thighs. Again, very difficult, but it is, as long as you don't overdo it, the next day you're not going to hurt too bad, but make sure you do not overwork on this specific one. It will hurt very much the next day. So next up is actually our leg extensions. Leg extensions are going to be working those quads right on top of the thighs. Those are very large muscle. Again, one of those things you do not want to overwork, but put on a medium amount of weight and do a decent amount of reps. Try to do like 10, 15 reps and just get a good feel for it, but a very good lift, very good fat burning, calorie burning type exercise. Next up is actually the calf exercise known as the leg curl. You're going to be curling a bar or a pad backwards, pulling down at your heels, and that works the calves at the backs of your legs. You can do a decent amount of weight on this. It's not going to hurt you too much, but be sure that you're trying to do those 10 to 15 reps and a nice even pace with all of your workouts that you're going to be doing. Our next workout is actually going to be the best workout in the video, in my opinion. That is the leg press. The leg press does multiple muscles. You have to keep your core tensed. You have to keep your entire lower body tensed, but you're mostly going to be working your hamstrings. Your hamstrings are on the bottom side of your quads, the lower parts of your thighs, and this is a very good fat burning, calorie burning. This is the best workout there is. Maximize your amount of calories burned. So next up we have the seated back pull. This is going to be working your upper back, a little bit of your traps, and slightly your triceps as well. You're going to be reaching forward, grabbing the bar, and pulling directly backwards and squeezing your shoulder blades together as you see in the picture. This is going to be a very not difficult or necessarily advanced lift, but it will be something that you don't want to focus on for fat loss, more like trimming or toning your back. Now we have a seated overhead pull. This is going to be doing your lower part of your back. Your lower part of your back, obliques, again, a little bit of triceps. This is another lift that's going to be more for the toning that specific part of your body and not necessarily towards the more fat loss oriented. It will obviously burn fat like anything else will, but there are exercises that incorporate more muscles, and more muscles mean more caloric burn. So now this is just a straight up chest press. You'll be using mostly your upper parts of your pecs or lower. It kind of depends on where the seat is, but mostly just your pecs and a little bit of bicep and tricep, very minimal, but mostly just your upper chest. This is a multi-muscle workout. It's not as good as something like a leg press or something to that effect, but it does tone and it does build that good upper strength on your pressing ability. So next up is actually going to be tricep extensions. You're going to be grabbing the bar closer together and pressing above your head until you are fully extended with your arms. This works the triceps, which is on the back side of your arm. It does not do as much. This is more isolation type movements. It's not a compound movement, but it's really just about finding out which movement it is you want to do. If you're wanting to do fat loss, find compound movements. If you are not wanting to do fat loss and wanting to tone specific elements, then isolate exactly what it is you want to be working on and work on that specifically. Now we are staying in the triceps. This is actually tricep press. You're going to be seated with your arms up above, pressing down on the bar and pushing them towards your legs and slowly letting them back up. This is a little bit of deltoid as well, which is on top of your shoulder. Not a compound, this is an isolation movement, but very good for toning in shoulders and giving you a very good aesthetic look on the tops and sides of your arms and back. Next up, we have just plain curls. These are seated machine curls. It's a little bit restricting on movement. I suggest with this one you use dumbbells. Dumbbell curl is much better. As you can tell, I keep kind of hitting the top of it and I'm not quite above my pecs. You want to be having that full range of motion, but the machine, it kind of has a specific length that it wants you to do, so you do that specific length. But I would suggest this with dumbbells, but this is the tried and true curl. Everyone does it. It's an isolation movement, not suggested for fat loss. So this is a kind of a little bit of a different movement. You don't see this as all the time whenever people are trying to do toning, but this is actually a deltoid raise. Deltoids are located on top of your shoulders, right over the top of the rotator cuff. It's very much in isolation. You do not want to do this unless you really just want that specific part of your body to look good. It's just not of great use to anybody. Don't waste your time, especially if you're trying to do fat loss. So this is actually another tricep movement. You're incorporating a little bit of forearm in this one, so you have a little bit of a good forearm press because you are in that hammer fist position with your hands pointed towards one another. But it's another tricep extension, another isolation, not going to be as good for fat loss, but again, anything with triceps is going to give you a very good contour and kind of a good look to your arm when it is hanging down. So next up we have the deltoid fly. This is going to be targeting the upper part of your chest up towards that rotator cuff and on top of the rotator cuff with the deltoid itself. This is actually a very difficult one if you do not do actual chest pressing or much pectoral movement. It can be very straining. You don't want to do very much weight. Keep it low, minimal reps. It's not suggested for a fat loss workout, but almost any workout can be used as a fat loss workout. It just depends on the intensity, but some are just innately better than others. And I cannot suggest this enough. At the end of each workout, go ahead and do your cardio, do your weight training first, do all of your hard work whenever you have the actual energy for it on your weight training portion, and then towards the end, do some cardio. Just get on the treadmill, run for a little while, whatever you can do, but get something done on the actual cardio. I hope you guys can use the information and get a little bit of workout out of it, but everyone needs to be getting into the gym, run, lift, whatever you want to do. But this is part one. I'm going to do a 3-part series where I talk about the dumbbell usage and what cardio is best cardio. So stay tuned. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the post notifications. Eat less, move more, live the dream. Have a great day. See ya. Oh, that's how you land in it. Ah. This is really why you come to the gym.